All right, let's jump right in and break down one of the most important guides in the tech world. Today, we're decoding the latest ThoughtWorks technology radar to figure out what it's telling us about the future that we're all building right now.
You know, technology is always moving forward. We get that. But let's be real. What's happening at this very moment feels different. This isn't just a slow and steady march. It feels more like a giant, sudden leap.
What we're living through is a full-blown revolution. And make no mistake, the engine driving almost all of this incredible change is artificial intelligence. It's not just changing our tools, it's changing the entire way we think about building things. So, in a world that's changing this fast, how do you even begin to navigate? You can't just chase every shiny new thing, right? You'd get lost. What you really need is a map, a guide you can trust to show you the terrain. And that is exactly what the technology radar is. So, let's unfold this map and see what it has to show us.
When you really dig into this edition of the radar, you start to see three huge, connected stories taking shape. And, big surprise, they all have one thing in common: the massive gravitational pull of AI.
First up, and this is a big one, AI is completely changing how we actually build stuff. And I'm not just talking about auto-completing a line of code. We're talking about AI being woven into the entire process. It's helping us make sense of messy, old code bases, and it's even letting non-coders create working prototypes with tools like V0. It's a huge shift in who gets to build and just how fast they can do it. The second big story is about the massive arms race happening behind the scenes. See, to power this whole AI revolution, platform teams are scrambling to build the right kind of infrastructure. And it's not just about buying more GPUs anymore. The real challenge now is something the radar calls topology-aware scheduling. Think about it like this. You wouldn't put your marketing team on one floor and your sales team in a different building if they need to talk all day, right? It's the same idea. You have to intelligently place AI tasks on GPUs that are physically close to each other to get every last ounce of performance. And then there's the third theme, which is basically a big flashing warning sign. With all this new power comes all new kinds of problems. The radar calls these anti-patterns, good ideas that can go wrong really fast. For instance, because AI makes it so easy for anyone to build a tool, you risk creating what they call AI-accelerated shadow IT. Tons of unmanaged, insecure little apps popping up everywhere without anyone knowing. Yikes.
Okay, so we've got the big themes down. But how does the radar actually work? Like, how do you read this map to make sense of it all? Let's break down the structure.
Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a weather radar for technology. It's not just telling you it's sunny right now. It's showing you the storm clouds gathering on the horizon, helping you figure out if you need to prepare for a storm or just enjoy the good weather.
And the way it's designed is actually pretty simple, which is what makes it so powerful. It tracks over 100 different things, they call them blips, and it organizes them based on two simple questions. What is it? That's the quadrant. And what should we do about it? That's the ring. First, you have the 4 quadrants. This is just the what is it part. Is it a technique, a new way of working? A platform you build on top of? A tool you use to get stuff done? Or a language or framework? Simple, right? It's just about getting on the same page about what we're actually talking about. But the rings, this is where it gets really interesting. This is the radar's actual recommendation, its opinion. It's a journey. You start with assess. That means, hey, keep an eye on this. Then trial means, okay, time to experiment, but maybe on a smaller project. Adopt is the big green light. Everyone should be using this. And then there's hold, which is so important. It's the radar telling you to pump the brakes and be careful. All right, enough theory. Let's make this real. We're going to look at a few actual blips from this volume so you can see how it all clicks together.
Okay, check this out. It's a new technique in the assessoring called context engineering. You know how you ask an LLM something and it gives you a totally generic, useless answer? Well, this is the fix for that. It's the actual science of giving the AI all the right background info, not just a simple prompt, so you get good, reliable results every single time. The radar is saying this is a skill we all need to learn fast.
And that skill, context engineering, is what makes the next big thing possible: agentic workflows. This is where we move from just asking the AI questions to actually giving it a complex goal and letting it go to work. We're talking about AI agents that can act on their own, use other tools, and pull in data to get a job done for you.
And this slide right here is the perfect summary of the radar's whole philosophy. Look at the balance.
On one hand, you've got a strong adopt recommendation for using Gen AI on old, messy code. That's a huge, immediate win. Then you have trial for the model context protocol. It's important, but still new. And then the hold on just getting lazy and complacent with AI-generated code. The message is so clear. Yes, use these amazing new tools, but don't you dare turn off your brain. Human judgment is still absolutely critical.
Okay, so we've covered the big themes, how to read the thing, we've even looked at some real-world examples. So what? What do you actually do with all this? How do you turn this into something useful for you and your team?
And this is maybe the single most important takeaway. The radar is not a shopping list. You don't just go out and grab everything in the adopt ring. Its real power is as a tool to start conversations, the right conversations. Like, are we ready for this? Is this trend an opportunity for us, or is it a threat? Where do we need to start learning new skills?
In the end, the technology radar does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a radar. It shows you what's out there. It points to the clear skies, it warns you about the storms, it shows you the parts of the map that are still being drawn. It gives you the lay of the land, but it can't tell you where to go. That part, well, that's up to you. So the only real question is, now that you've seen the map, what's your next move?